welcome to Standing Waters Podcast. I'm your host. I'm Bill German, and I have my guest today is Chip Miller. It's kind of weird to say that he's my guest. He's also my business partner. So we sit here every day and stare at each other, and we have hundreds of conversations. So it kind of feels a little unnatural to sit here and look at each other from across the table. But that's what we're going to do. Yes. Chip and I own Nuway Restoration and Cleaning. We do a gamut of restoration work. We do it all. Fire, smoke, water, sewage, wind, mold. We do it all.
Rebuilds, everything.
We do everything. But we thought we'd start our first podcast, just kind of introduce ourselves, kind of chat, and get used to this thing, because this is all new to us. I mean, frankly, talking into a microphone with it this close to me makes my eyes go across.
It's very uncomfortable.
It's different. It's definitely different. But I figured we just, today we just make it simple, and we just we introduce ourselves and talk about ourselves and talk about, Nuway Restoration and our vision and where we're at now, where we're heading to. I think it should carry us through, and we'll finish up with what we're getting ready to go do at the end of the week.
Very excited.
I'm very excited. I'm very excited to start mapping out business for next year. So, well, I'll start, Chip.
Go right ahead.
I'll start. My name's Bill German. I'm where I live here, right here in Oakland, Maryland now, and I'm a transplant, as they call it here in Garrett County, Maryland. I'll always be a transplant. It doesn't matter how long you live here, right? I've been here 15 years now. My wife is a local, and my background is in business and in organization and management, installing systems and processes to make business run simpler. I've worked at lots of different places and lots of different projects to get them to go. I think I'd like to call them all a success. And as the wind blew, it brings me here to Nuway Restoration. It brought me here about 4.5 years ago now, and it's going well. We've resurrected the company and made it into what it is today, and I think it's a company that pushes our community forward.
I agree.
I think as long as we continue to hold the focus, and that as long as we're doing right and doing good things for the community, I think the rest will fall in place.
We'll be here for a while.
Yeah. So, I'm married. I got 2 kids. We live about 5 miles outside of town here. What do we like to do for fun? I don't know. I work. That's what I do. I like to hang out and play with the kids. We go fishing and softball and baseball, and involved in a lot of sports to kids at this point. But we also try to get involved in everything we do here. We do a lot of community stuff here. We just made it through. I mean, it's October now, and we just made it through our Halloween event. Called that a success.
Oh, yes.
It's called 300 some people walked through our building to walk through our haunted hallway. Haven't got any complaints about it yet.
No.
Nobody's complained that it was too scary or
just puke in the parking lot afterwards. That's it.
That's it. I mean, somebody did congratulate us. They shall remain nameless. They did congratulate us for making somebody throw up.
Yes.
But we warned them. There was plenty of signage that said, you probably shouldn't come in here. But it was for all ages. It was for the kids. We had a good time. Act like I was here, because I wasn't. I was at a concert with my daughter. But from what I gather, everybody else, the staff here had a great time. They enjoyed themselves, and it sounded like it went smoothly.
No, the photo booth was a hit.
I heard it was. I saw some of the pictures. I got some pictures on my desk.
They're great.
I put them up. The Insta photo booth. It's called Insta Memories and Photo Booth, I think.
I think that's
what it's called. Dwayne Patton. He does fabulous. He's done some work for us in the past. And he always does excellent. He's like the controller of the chaos. There's 400 kids all trying to get their picture taken at one time with different costumes, and he's just rolling through it. He's just hitting print.
Yep.
It's no big deal to him, and he just rolls through.
Yeah, and I think the best part of it too is getting other businesses involved in it. I mean, we have businesses from around town come in, and people dressing up and greeting and doing everything that we could with them. So it's a small community, but yet we all get in together.
We had 20-some businesses join us this year.
Yeah.
I mean, it was only us last year.
Which was a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot. We had 20-some people.
Yeah.
20-some companies and businesses are here in town to join us this time. I was kind of shocked about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I didn't think there was going to be that many. I figured there was going to be like 4.
Yeah.
But I feel like I continue to add to the Facebook post another business, another business, another business.
Sure, because everybody wants involved.
Well, we all want what's best for the town and for the kids. Or would you stay focused on the citizens of our community? We're going to be fine. That's what a lot of this downtown business does.
Right. Yep.
It does. So tell me about Chip.
Turn your mic.
So.
Sorry we stalled. Carrie was telling us something.
Sorry.
Put the other camera in so she can see us.
Back up your mic a little bit and turn it so it catches your voice. Turn it towards your, because you're leaning. Yeah.
That way?
Yeah.
That way?
Yeah.
That way?
Yep. Sorry.
Now he finally got his mic where it needs
I got
to
her
be.
to say, 4 times.
Yes.
I hope that fly lands on your face. It's right there on top of your microphone.
Because I haven't ate yet, so.
Yeah. Why not?
Because I'm now running.
I'll start
this
Chip's
morning.
bio. Chip never eats. It just goes.
I do.
Little
eat.
Energizer buddy.
So a little bit about me. So I am a native of Garrett County. I grew up here. Grew up down in a little town called Swanton. It's about 20 miles away from Oakland here at the business. There's a little landmark down there that my grandmother and grandfather built a store and ran it for years. And so we all grew up right around that area. Actually, growing up, I worked there. Years later, whenever other businesses bought it and people bought it, I went down and worked there. And felt like a little family thing. So
That was Kurt's Corner, wasn't it?
Yes.
Were they famous for anything?
They were famous for some things later on. I don't know about way back in the day, but
They famous for like a food that they provided or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, whenever we started out, there wasn't much food. We did hot dogs and everything because there was a lot of building and construction up down by the lake in that area in that time. And actually, there still is. But so the one guy who bought it, Kurt Weingartner, and he still has property up here. He married a girl from down around that area. He started it. We was friends, and he took me in as one of his, and started from there. And he started doing hot dogs and just simple little things. And the construction workers would stop in, and we'd be down early in the morning making coffee and doing little things. And basically, just kind of a little hangout. It was just like a little community hangout for everybody.
I think it's important because there's somebody watching us while we talk, right? Nobody really knows where it is, but it sits on a corner of a major thoroughfare. Mm-hmm. Right? So it might be technically out of the way, but it's really not. I mean, it sits on a 2-lane highway that goes north and south through the county, and it sits on a major cut through to come into the lake.
Yep.
So it sits in a perfect spot.
Yeah. And so I worked there for several years, and then I got into, I worked 3 jobs. Starting out, so I did construction work. I did that, and then all the local farmers down around that way didn't have any help, so we would go out and throw hay bales in the middle of the summer for them and run hay down to Virginia and so forth. And so, it was, I grew up working a lot, and I still feel that coming right now, so. But so like I said, I grew up down there. It was a very family-oriented thing down around that area. Years later, not years later, probably a couple years later, I got married, moved into Oakland. And at the time I was doing construction work for another company. And then, there was a business called Balsh and Loam that was up in Mountain Lake Park. They went out of business. There was a big sunglass factory, and factory come in called Simon Pierce, who does handmade glass. I put in my application for there and got hired, and I was there for almost 24 and a half years.
So here's a cool part. I wish we had some like cool music or something we could hit. Like, dun, 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 dun. Because Chip's not going to tell you, right? Hit the button, Carrie. We can't hear it. Anyway, Chip's not going to tell you, but Chip is, Chip is internationally famous. But it's a well hidden secret too. Chip at 24 years at Simon Pierce. Chip is a glass blower by trade. Chip is blowing some of the high end, how should we say it? High end, expensive, highly coveted Simon Pierce hand blown glass items, from ornaments to table things to
Christmas trees, everything.
They ship all over the world. Chip did it forever. He did it with grace, and he did it awesome. I mean, every Christmas, my wife says, "We need something from Chip." So, I think we should put that out there whenever we get the chance. I try to do that and hold people up, because not everybody's going to pat their own back. So, attaboy, Chip, internationally famous, sitting right here in our conference room. Now look at you.
Yeah, now look at me.
Now look at you. Owner of a restoration company. Somebody's going to tell you that we clean up poop.
Who would ever have known this would ever happen? But so back to me, and Bill, thank you for the compliments. I appreciate it very much. But yeah, so I worked for Simon Pierce for over 24 years. I was a supervisor there and was on call all the time and didn't have much time to do much stuff. So I was always busy. Some things changed. I sort of took a career change. I call it a midlife crisis sometimes.
Hey, at least you didn't buy a Mazda Miata.
Exactly.
Convertible one, too. So it's fine. It's okay with career changes as long as you didn't buy a red convertible one.
So like Bill said earlier, we are involved in a lot of things. We were both president of the baseball, softball Oakland League for a while.
We were.
We actually still sat on the board, but we gave up our positions because of what's coming up new for us.
Yes. Yes.
So I was coming over to Bill one day, bringing him some paperwork because he was the treasurer, and we got to talking for a little bit, and Bill looked at me and he's like, "Hey, what's wrong with you?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "There's something up with you." And I'm like, "Nah, I'm fine." He's like, about 10 minutes into it, he looked at me again. He's like, "I've known you long enough. What's up with you?"
What's up?
And I sort of told him, I was like, "Look, I'm secretly looking for another job." I said, "I'm not happy. I don't like going to work not happy, and I don't expect nobody to come to work unhappy." So for about 3 months, I was going to work, and I hated going to work, and I haven't been that way in 24 years. So I sort of confided in Bill, and I was like, "Look, this is what's going on.
It's time for a change."
And he's like, I can't say the words, but he was like, "Come with me, I got you a job," which I was grateful for.
Chip, this is a podcast. It's unrestricted on what we say.
I know, but Carrie can bleep it out.
Carrie's going to do a lot of bleeping.
Yeah.
If anybody knows me.
There's a button for that.
There's a button. All right, thank you. But anyway, back to the story. A little bit about me is Bill gave me an opportunity, and I was very grateful for it. It was a big life moment change for me because honestly, I've never ran a computer that much. And I think within the last year and a half that I've been in this business, that I've done fared well with all the help around here and the smacks across the head and everything else from the ladies here telling me that I need to learn how to do it. So
this is where we should give Carrie a chance to talk.
No, and Tiffany. Where's Tiffany?
They can talk about their experiences of trying to teach Chip how to use a phone and a computer.
So anyway, this comes out, and I have enjoyed and cherished the chance of being here. So that is about my bio. So
it's about your bio, right?
So yeah, I got 3 kids also. Live on a small farm. My kids are in 4-H, always have been. I'm a member of the Garrett County Fair Board also, which is very important to me. I like helping kids. I like helping people. So that about sums it up for me. I enjoy it.
I think you guys can hear it. in Chip's voice. He's very even keeled. He's very low key. He doesn't get excited much. When he does, it's going to be big. But the way his mannerisms are fantastic. So when I got the opportunity to hire him, we jumped all over it. He fits perfectly into the Nuway Restoration and Cleaning vision. We preach all the time. All 5 managers preach all the time about, work hard and be nice.
Exactly.
It drives our business. It just so happened that I found a sign at a discount clothing outlet that happened to say it, so we brought it in, right? But it fits, right? If everybody works hard and they're nice,
yep,
our business will grow. So to find managers like that, and I've done it to all of the managers. I'd like to say that I've handpicked every single one, and they all have that attribute of work hard, be nice, soft-spoken, low-key, and understanding their place. Yeah, we're pointing at Carrie, not Carrie.
I have an excuse.
She has an excuse. No, Carrie also. Carrie's still driving behind this social media push.
Yes,
we need Carrie, and Carrie's awesome. So, as we sit here and transition our business, it's kind of what we're sitting here today talking about is what do we do, and what are we going to do in the future? It's really hard to say what do we do. I got a whole piece of paper sitting here in front of me with 60, 70 some items on it of what do we do, right? I do it all. I'm serious when I say if you walk in your house and you go, oh no, I can probably fix it. Mm-hmm. I can probably fix it. For me, if you're talk about fire damage, as long as your house doesn't completely burn down, I can probably fix it. Smoke damage, no big deal. Wind and tarping and boarding up after storms, we can do that. We're certified mold remediators. We do a lot of sewage backups. I think sewage is kind of a quiet thing that nobody really talks about. It happens all the time in cities and in small communities. Water damage, busted pipes, overflowed toilets, rainwater. I just ran out to a guy's house yesterday and looked at his. He was having a roof put on, and the construction company didn't get the roof completely put on, and we had a torrential downpour. It rained in this guy's house. I was out there looking at that yesterday. And see how we can help them and come up with a game plan to make that happen. I don't know. I struggle to name all the things. Oh, your turn, Chip. What else we do? We do so much that the business continues to just move forward based on needs of the community, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. And plus, Bill needs to mention too that we are a Mohawk dealer. We deal in flooring, we deal in carpet. We can get it ordered, we can get it, shipped into us. Anything you guys want, we got installers that can do it that are top notch, good installers.
We're not subbing it out either. We have 2 full-time flooring installers.
Yep.
And we keep busy. And hired them on ourselves so we didn't have to rely on somebody else.
Right. Yeah. And we even have other contractors that want to use their services because a lot of them don't have the carpet needs of people. Mm-hmm. They just build the homes and want the carpet people to come in, and that's where we're at right now with all that. And business is taking off on that side also very well.
Yeah. We welcome walk-ins.
Yep. Absolutely.
Welcome walk-ins.
Take them all. Anything we can get on that side of it.
We'd be happy to help.
Yeah. Bill forgot to mention too that we have a little dumpster service.
We do. We do our own dumpsters. Hey, sometimes I lay in bed and just kind of giggle and go, how did we even get into this?
Exactly.
Crazy conversations at breakfast, and we eat breakfast every Friday morning, and we talk about random things at best, and sometimes random things at best turned into business opportunities, and that's where we ended with the dump truck. We ended up with our own cable winch truck. It's an 11-foot cable winch truck, and it hauls 12-yard dumpsters.
Yep.
Again, didn't have to rely on anybody else.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
we now control when and where delivery comes, and when we can get it emptied and put back, and it's kind of the business drove that.
Yeah.
So we turned around and bought this little cool truck. I mean, I think it's a blast to drive. I think it's
neat.
It's a pretty cool thing. Turns on a dime.
Yeah.
But yeah, it turns into business. We have 7 dumpsters now, and they stay out. I was concerned in the beginning that we were going to need more parking space to put empty dumpsters that were just going to sit, but we haven't had that problem.
Right.
The problem is just taking care of itself, and they constantly out, constantly being moved, and we need them.
Oh yeah, it's a great thing to have. You got other people wanting them, and when they're not busy, we take them out and take care of everybody on that.
Talk about the services. I mean, how do we do it all? I can tell you how we do it all. I'm very upfront and vocal on how I do it all. I do it all through 5 fantastic managers that run the day-to-day business, and they got it. I completely and wholeheartedly believe in them to make decisions for me. But underneath them are 20 employees.
Right.
There's 25 employees, people working here. I'd like to think that we're kind of close to being one of Garrett County's largest employers. So we got 25 total people working here in all 4 divisions, in the insurance mitigation business, in the reconstruction business, in the housekeeping business, and in the carpet and upholstery cleaning business. We all work together. Everybody understands that we are in a disaster restoration industry, that when emergencies come in, everybody's on hand.
Exactly.
Just because you're a housekeeper doesn't mean you're not helping.
Yep.
Right? Carpet cleaners, bring your pump trucks, and so you guys can help too.
Yep.
We run a 25-person family that gets together pretty darn well. We all come together when we need to.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
How many vehicles?
We have 11 vehicles that push 25 people around. 11 vehicles. That includes the dumpster truck. Dumpster truck, 2 Subarus. The housekeepers, we got 2 mitigation vans. We got a mitigation pickup truck. We have a dedicated flooring installing van. We got everything you possibly think of. And the bad part is, I think at this point we're running out of. We have more. We need more seats, Chip.
Yep, we need more seats and more parking.
Yeah, we're going to need more seats and more parking. You never thought that parking was going to be an issue.
Exactly.
Especially when we moved into this building.
From where you started, yeah.
Yeah, from where we started in what was technically a 2-bedroom house.
Yeah, like 5 parking spots.
Yeah, we literally had to move cars around, and we looked like we were at a concert. Trying to pack cars into the back parking lot, and once we figured out where the back property lines were, we started laying gravel right on the line. We took a tree out so we could fit some more cars in there. But I remember, it never failed that front car always needed out, and you were moving 3 or 4 cars to get it out. We've come a long way. Now we get here, thought we had plenty of parking, and
we're outgrowing.
Yeah. Strike a deal with the fire department across the street so we can park 7 cars over there.
Yep. Which is wonderful that they let us do it.
Yes. It's very nice.
Yeah.
Chip, let's talk about where we're going. Let's talk about vision.
I want to grow. Bill's got my mind set now to where I've always been a thinker, but he's got me to where I'm looking at it 1 year, 2 years out now instead of 6 months, something like that. But yeah, he's really got my mind. I sit in bed or lay in bed at night, not being able to sleep half the time because of Bill now, because my mind's just blowing up with ideas and everything else. And I guess the thing I like about Bill is he texts me and he's like, "Are you in?" And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Are you in?" And I'm like, "For what?" He's like, "I'm not asking you again. Are you in?" And I'm like, "Sure, why not?" I don't know what I'm in for, but yeah, I'm in. So he is definitely the driver and the thinker of way out. And
Well, let's not start that. You did it to me yesterday.
well, I did it to you yesterday, but
I got home and told my wife the $1 that you were trying to get me to spend yesterday. She's like, "What are you two doing?" And I'm like, it costs money to make money.
I know, but yeah.
You did it to me yesterday, trying to get me to buy a shopping center. I'm like,
so I'm just
well, it's only money, Chip. We can't bring it with us.
His response is like, "Yeah, I'm kind of obligated now." So
in the beginning, I wasn't sold on the deal. Once I started talking about the numbers to myself, and I started getting them where it's going, and I'm like, it's got legs.
it does.
That could go. That could go. I mean, the dollars are negotiable, but the dollars would make it work.
Yeah.
So
I got this vision.
Welcome
now.
to the crazy part, right?
Yeah, I got the vision now, so I'm going to be texting Bill out of the blind and say, "Are you in?" And he's going to have to say yes. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
Until then, we sit down and talk about it, and we're like, "Nah, it's a bad idea."
Yeah, that's a bad idea.
So, yeah. So it's kind of good that way. But it's nice to have a vision of where we want to go. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I think we can outgrow this place within a year or two. We keep it going and treat people right and do the right thing. And what we have set down for 2 months now, month and a half, 2 months, and got a game plan going where we're going from here. So
yeah, we've been sitting down. Carrie's sitting here with us, so now we're going to tip our hat and be like, okay, this is where we've been. So we've been missing for Fridays for a while now. Yeah. We go to breakfast with a couple other business owners on Friday mornings, and that starts at 7:30, and it usually lasts 8:30, 9 o'clock. But at 9 o'clock, Chip and I have been scooting off to what we lovingly call our bat cave, where we've been hiding. Right? It's hard to hide in a small town, I can tell you that. There's people see your trucks
everywhere.
Yeah, people see where you're at. People see you driving around, and so Chip and I have been hiding in the bat cave here lately on these Fridays, and we've been hiding for significant time, almost a good part of the day.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's been business planning.
Yes.
It's so Chip and I get on the same page of where we're going and where we want to go, right? And to help us do that, we leave Saturday for Florida, Chip.
Yes.
I think I tell everybody that, and they're like, "Oh, lucky you." I'm like, I don't think you get it.
Yeah, they don't get it. They have no idea.
It's not like they're holding the conference on the beach.
Yeah.
No. It's going to be in a conference room in a hotel, and we're going to be stuck in there thinking, "Oh, you know what I saw today? Did you see the email yesterday?
What?
They're not serving us lunch."
I know, I saw that.
But this year they're serving snacks.
Yeah, they're having snacks at 10 o'clock.
Imagine me last year with no snacks and no lunch.
Oh, you'd be grouchy.
Hello. Yeah.
Yeah, you get grouchy a lot when you don't.
Yeah, we ain't playing again. You're going to hear chip bags rustling.
You'll be making a trip to Walmart.
Yeah, I ain't playing this game. Yeah, when we fly in, we're stopping at Kroger on the way in, and we're going to need some snacks. We need some Cheez-Its.
We'll make a lot of friends.
Cheez-Its and Gatorade. And, oh, yeah. I'll have plenty of people at my table. By the way, I ordered a fruit tray also. It's coming. I'm delivering it. Meat and cheese. You guys are going to love me.
Yeah, you take the fruit. I'll take meat and cheese.
Yeah, so Chip and I leave Friday. And I think that's important to say. We leave Saturday morning. Sorry, I said Friday. But we leave Saturday morning for Florida. We got involved in a company called Violand Management. They teach owners to be owners, and they teach high-level managers to be high-level managers.
Yes.
And they help with the transition from middle manager to either high-level manager or owner. And they do it for service companies is what they call them. They do it for restoration companies, for plumbers, for electricians, for small companies just like that are trying to transition, trying to grow. Because they've recognized that, listen, the small business owner really doesn't know it all.
No.
And for the most part, they act like they do, right? We will lie to ourselves and tell us that we know how to do marketing. We know how to do accounting. Mm-hmm. We'll lie to ourselves, but that's the bad part, right? We need to recognize what we are good at and what we're not.
Right.
And the not stuff we need to farm out.
Yep.
Right? We need to pay somebody to do it well for us. So we hire Viola Management to teach us the portions that we don't know. At least teach you something about it, right? I was in Canton, Ohio, in the summer for this with Violand, and we learned how to their version of reading a P&L. Not everybody knows how to read P&L. Right? You guys can see Chip. She's like, I don't know how to do that. Right? But they understand that, right? And then they teach that in a very, very easy way, and they allow you to ask a million questions and go, why does line 1 matter to line 12?
Right.
If line 12 changes, why does line 1 change? Right? They teach all of that stuff. So Chip and I got involved in this. We're going to go to Violand Management's Business Planning Retreat. It's a 3-day event. I was talking to somebody the other day about it, and they asked if I got the homework done. And I said, you know what? You were not kidding. It was 2 months of homework. It's a lot.
It is a lot.
It's a lot of homework.
So Bill did more than I did, so he's the financial burden.
So we'll go back to the Bat Cave. Chip and I have been hiding for a couple of weeks now, and we've been doing our homework.
Yeah. Right?
We've been doing our homework, and what they made us talk about. They made us talk about 3 things here. They made us talk about our mission and core purpose. They talk about our future vision and core values. Logic would tell you when you just say that, that's easy. Okay.
Oh yeah. Until you get digging.
I can tell you what.
I mean, I think at one
Until
point
you gotta write it on a piece of paper, it's hard.
I think at one point we were reading through this and we just sort of like looked at each other for like 15 minutes, just staring like, oh my God.
Wow.
What do we do?
I think it was going to be this hard. I mean,
I haven't done this much homework since.
Yeah.
Cool.
But honestly, what it did was, for bringing Chip in as an owner, what it did was it stoked important conversations that needed to be had. We learned a lot about each other. We learned a lot about what we like about the business, what we don't like about it, and what we want to change and where we want to go.
Oh, sure.
I think there were, for two dudes to sit down and talk about this stuff, it was a little weird.
It was.
There's no sports or anything involved in it, right? No jocularity. It was like, hey, here's one of the questions. Why would your customers miss us if we were not around? Why would our customers miss us if we were not around?
I don't know. This is an awkward moment. We just stood there and looked at each other.
Just stare at each other and we can come up with something and get it on paper, right?
Yeah.
So, in case you're not watching the video, we're sitting there, we're paging through it here, and we each have our own notes and stuff, We progress through from work hard and be nice to we serve our community, restoring peace of mind to our customers. We face and overcome problems for our customers. Would they miss the trusting feeling that they get from us?
Right.
Because we meet people when they don't expect to be met.
Exactly.
We meet people when they don't, their life is in turmoil.
Yeah.
Their house just flooded from the top to the bottom.
Yep.
Their house just burnt to the ground.
Exactly.
Nobody plans on their house to catch on fire. Nobody plans on the pipe to bust.
And I think that's where it's important for us to come in and like cradle them. Come in and say, hey, let us take this. You got enough worries in life. This is our business. This is our job. Let us take it over and walk you through it. And you don't have to do anything with it. Just let us handle it. You have enough going on.
I think every fire job I've ever been to, at some point in it, there was a long hug.
Sure.
Their life just burnt to ashes.
Yeah.
Their pictures on their walls, the money that they had hidden in the desk drawer. The desk is gone. That was their grandparents and their great grandparents. All of their kids' pictures, they're ashes.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know what to do.
Right.
Lots of times, I don't really know what to do. But what I do know what to do is just to be comforting and try to understand.
Sure.
Try to put empathy in there and put myself in their shoes and go, how would I feel?
Well, exactly. Because they got a lot of burden coming on them. So.
Yeah. So I think we ended up with, the answer to the question is, why would our customers miss us if we were not around? And the one I circled, was knowing that we care for them.
Sure.
If we weren't here, there wouldn't be anybody that cares as much as we do. And there is a business end to this, and I get it, but I think a lot of the restoration companies look at the business end and payment only. And I think that's what sets us apart from the rest is that we care.
Exactly.
We care. I'll sit on your porch forever as long as you need me to sit there.
Yeah.
And so you can gather your wits about you and move on with your day. But I think there's a point to it, right?
There is. I mean, there's days that Carrie is also our marketing here and doing all this, but she's also my office manager. She's wonderful at what she does, and there's some days that she texts me and she's like, "Hey, where are you at?" And there's some days that I'm just doing what Bill said. I'm sitting on a porch talking to a person saying, "What do you need for me to rebuild your house?
Yeah.
What do you need for me to do this and this and this because you shouldn't have to worry about it?" And I think that is important to get with the customer and sort of like I said earlier, just cradle. Say, what can I do for you? And sometimes I might spend an hour or two there, and I probably shouldn't because I'm not used to sitting that long. But then I got like 4 other appointments, that I got to get to, and my day from 7 o'clock in the morning might last till 5 o'clock in the evening because I'm caring.
Because I care, right? And it brings it into so that segues perfectly into the next question that we were asked, right? It says, why does knowing we care for them make a difference? Let me tell you what, I got a whole list of notes here, and I just kind of circled a group of them. Because Chip and I are going to Florida, and we can't really answer this question with a one sentence. I think it comes down to a whole lot of things that we wrote down, people want assurances in today's society. Today's society isn't that nice. There aren't that many nice people left.
Yep.
There's a few, and for the most part, we get drummed out. People need a friend during a crisis situation. People need stability when their life is unstable. These are all just the notes that we wrote down, We meet people when their life is chaotic. They find solace in knowing we genuinely care for their well-being. I think the group that we kind of circled had a lot to do with faith.
Sure.
Whether that they have faith in us. Providing the care that they need allows them to understand that they have faith in us that we can do this for them. Faith grows through caring. Caring builds trust. Caring builds faith. I'm not sure. I hope they don't ask us this question because I'm not sure that we have a one-liner.
No.
But I'd like to really tell them is, why does it matter? Because it matters for that feeling in our chest.
Sure.
That's what all these notes are. It's that warm feeling in our chest when we do something nice for somebody. Knowing that Chip took his jacket off and put it over the puddle so the lady could walk across the street. Chip is 6'4", he's got a big jacket. And a big coat.
That's what it's all about.
We transition forward, the next week that we hid in the bat cave, we were answering questions like, what does winning look like in our company? Again, a whole list of notes here, but I think what it summed up to was slow growth through positive impacts upon our employees and our community. I think that was kind of the best
That's what it come down to.
statement that we came up with all the, what does it look like? I'm not even going to read those.
Yeah,
I'm not going to read them. Because there's a lot of good and bad that comes with success.
Yes.
Right? There's a lot of good and bad. But that's why we have Carrie, who does our social media and our reputation management, right? Because there's going to be people that can try to bring us down for being nice and doing what's right every time.
I agree.
There's going to be. Just is what it is. So what else, Chip? Are you excited to go to Florida?
I am excited to go to Florida.
Why?
Because it's going to make us better. Bill was talking earlier about Violand and doing the marketing and stuff that Bill's generously set us up through classes, all the managers through classes for estimating and how to move up to be a supervisor and so forth on up through. And I mean, Viola is just wonderful. I mean, I sat through it. Like I said, I was a supervisor for 24 years before, and I'm still learning stuff out of this. And you can still throw feedback into, what I've learned, which is great. But the marketing side, what I want to bring up is just the other day. So whenever we changed our name, we had to come up with branding for the vans. We didn't reach out to a marketing company. We didn't know what we were doing really. So this is the best part about our staff. Yeah. But this is actually the best part about our staff. Bill, like he said, he trusts every one of them. He doesn't have to be here every day to make a decision. And I feel the same way. I don't have to be here every day to make a decision. I trust him fully behind all this. And so whenever we did the vans, he was like, give me an idea what you guys want. And it was months before we come up with ideas. And Tiffany and Carrie and Sean and me and Jim and Bill all had our ideas in on this. And we come up with a pretty good wrap that goes on our vans. So there was a guy the other day, he's a contractor here, and he was like, who does your marketing? And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, your vans. He said, you guys hit it spot on for your business.
He's the only one that's ever said that. Everybody else says, what is it?
Yeah. But he was like,
I respond with, do you see Deep Creek Lake in there? Like, it's in there? I go, yeah, you clearly didn't look at it long enough.
But he also knows what we do. So he was like, you guys hit it spot on. He said, man, I wish I could have the staff or whatever to sit back and think. He said, I was looking into marketing and just hiring somebody. They wanted like $5,000 for however long they wanted them to do it or whatever.
You got to pay for good employees.
Crap. And I was like, wow. Yeah. And he was like, no, he said, you guys hit it spot on. So, I mean, when you got a good staff behind you, thinkers,
yeah,
I think it's wonderful.
Yeah. We provide them with the ability to think.
Yes.
Right? I might give you the general idea of what's going to happen, but we all got to talk about it and how to figure out how we're going to get there.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to be the one that says, this is what we're doing.
Right.
Because I could be dead wrong.
Well, this is what happens here with me and him.
I could be dead wrong, right? So, you have to bounce the ideas off of your employees. And to that guy, I'm going to tell you, you got to pay for it.
Yeah.
Payroll is expensive. If you want to get production, good quality production, and make things happen in your company, then you got to pay for it. It is what it is.
Yep.
You got to break the mindset of this is what the community pays.
Yeah, I agree.
You got to break the mindset. Otherwise, that person can go. In today's society, you can work from home and make 5 times that by working from home for a company in California. So if you're not going to do it and you're not going to pay for it, and you're not going to get the production out of that person that they're capable of, they're just going to go do it somewhere else.
Sure.
Right? So it's about opening up vision and understanding where you want to take your company. I think everybody looked at me funny when I said we're buying podcast equipment. Not Carrie, right?
Oh, I am. I'm upstairs with like a fist in my gut.
I feel like I found a little gem in my pocket when I was like, hey, Carrie. She's like, yes, let's do this.
Right.
We talk about trying to find the good qualities and the bad qualities in all of your employees and try to exploit the good ones and make it, and hide the bad ones. But, I feel like we were underserving ourselves with Gary and making her write construction contracts. And now look at her. Now I feel like we're in an interrogation with all the lights.
I do. I mean,
she's recording and she's just giggling at us, staring at us.
So I'd say this.
Wait till we start talking about her. I'll put that on our list. Let's talk about a topic next week. We'll talk about Carrie.
Maybe we should start with Tiffany.
No, we'll talk with Carrie. We'll talk with Carrie. She'll be right here. She can defend herself.
Oh, my. Yeah, I always make a joke of like when we walked in here and sat down, I was like, oh my God, I feel like I'm in prison or something. But I've never been to prison, so this is just
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm positive.
All right. I mean, I'll get you a sticker.
Oh, no.
Since you don't have any tattoos, I'll just put a sticker on it and be like, badass. Where do you always stick the sticker? I want people to see it.
I'm good. On my desk.
On my desk. On my desk. On my desk.
And so I think we need to bring up one other person, Eric Sprague.
Ooh. Ooh.
He is very.
You're meeting with him here in an hour.
Oh, I am. I got a class.
Gary,
What time is it? I got a class.
The look on his face.
All right, never mind, Eric. I'll talk to you later.
Well, let's talk about him. So, we used to be another restoration company. We were a large name brand, a worldwide name brand, and we realized that doesn't fit in our geographical area. It doesn't fit in our small town community. It just didn't. So, as we all sat down and talked about it, we decided that we were going to, move away from the franchise. And we did that. Well, we knew it was going to be scary, and as any other owner doing this, you can't lie to yourself. Right? You got to be honest and say, there's a chance that this entire thing fails.
Sure.
So what am I going to do to help ensure that it doesn't fail? So I was introduced to a guy named Eric Sprague from SuperTech University. He teaches companies and employees the soft skills to do great customer service. Along with that, he coaches restoration companies for anything they want to do. If they want to grow from $3 million to $5 million, he can make that happen.
Right.
You meet with him on Zoom, and he's got the contacts, and he's got the people to call, and he's got the advice because he's been through it. So we hired him. We hired him back in January, February of this year when we had this great idea. We're going to move away from the franchise world, and so we hired him, and he has helped navigate us through this. He has been a wealth of knowledge. It's just anybody that wants to grow but feels like they're kind of spinning in nowhere land. You reach out to SuperTech University and say, Eric, I need some help. You don't have to be a restoration company. You can be a restoration, a plumber, an electrician, any small company. You can do it all.
Right.
I was telling a family member the other day who just started their own doctor's office. And I said, hey, Eric, you coach doctors? And he's like, well, not really, but I guess I could. I mean, it's the same soft skills that you're teaching the nurses and the doctors and intermingling with each other and having interpersonal relationships with your clients. It's the same stuff.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Same stuff. So he's the one that gave us this great idea for podcasting. He runs his own podcast, but I said we're going to do this. This is let's move the restoration world into the 21st century, and let's put some technology into this, and get our name out there. This is our first one we shot. I feel like it's rocky at best, but I feel like the next ones are going to go smoother now that we sit here and just stare at each other. And Carrie gives us, look at the stink eye.
Yeah,
look at the stink eye she's giving us.
I'm used to it.
And I'd like to go on record if you could make a note in the recording that I did not use any cuss words.
Yeah, which is very.
Chip said one.
You said what?
Oh, Carrie, you're not allowed to be in the room any longer.
I don't think I actually.
I think I did great with one.
You did.
I mean, nobody will tell me that I did fabulous at one.
Yeah. But the businesses really need to reach out to Eric because I met Eric March.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there, and I've learned a lot just sitting back. We do morning meetings, and he coaches everybody, and you run through and you listen to him, and sometimes he says some bad words on there too that he tries to bleep out, but he misses. But anyway,
I think it comes down to it. I think you realize that he's just a regular guy.
Yeah.
Right, and that's what we need in the trade industry is just regular guys teaching.
Yeah.
Right, we need somebody in a shirt and tie to stand up and be like, let me tell you how you should approach your customer. No, we need Eric in his baseball hat and his chalkboard saying, listen, walk up, ring the doorbell, step back 2 feet and have your business card in and say, hi, good morning, ma'am. Yeah. Don't stand up on the door and meet her nose to nose. That's not how things happen.
Yep.
I agree. That's how the fight starts, and that's how you don't get the job.
Yeah.
By intimidating the customer, right? You need Eric with his little curly hair sticking out the left side of his hat. You need that, right? You need him to to preach what we're trying to learn and preach what we're trying to put in place. Sometimes it helps to hear from other people.
Yeah. So he does, like I said, he does our morning. We do morning meetings and we play, on the videos and stuff that he sends us.
Every morning, 7 a.m.
So we're like, one of his main things is like, hey, if you're going to the customer's home in the morning, just call them. Say, hey, this is so-and-so from Nuway Restoration and Cleaning. I'm coming to your house. I'll be there in 20 minutes. You like me to stop and get you anything? And so I took it to heart one day, and I was Carrie had me scheduled to go to a lady's house, and I called her up, and I was like, hey, said, I'm on my way down. I'll be there in about 20 minutes. She's like, okay, whatever, just come on down. The door's open, whatever. I was like, wait a minute. I said, you need anything? And she was like stunned for a second. It kind of caught me off guard with her response. She's like, no, I'm good. All I need is your smiling face. And I was like, okay, thanks, Eric.
Eric got me hit on.
Yeah.
Thank you, Eric. You're the best.
So, needless to say, I didn't bring her nothing, got the job done, and she was satisfied. So, yeah, his stuff is very, very good for anybody to listen to build a company up. I mean, I've learned a lot already out of it. So
I think he's talked to me about it and talked to me about it and talked to me about it, and I think it's just starting to come to fruition, starting to come out, and then your story makes it come out. Right? It's entertaining as an owner to sit here and say, I wonder if the money I'm spending is working.
Right.
So to hear Chip go, hey, you need anything? That tells me that he's paying attention to the training, right? You can kind of hear the guys talk about it. It's starting to come. We've been doing it for 6 months now or something like that.
Yeah.
It's starting to come around. At first they bucket. But just hold the course.
Sure.
Hold the course. Know that we have vision, right? Know that we have vision and where we're going. And know that it's going to be a bumpy road to get there because not every employee thinks like the owner, and why we want to be awesome.
Right.
So, yeah, there's our shameless plug for Eric Sprague and Larry Wilburton at Super Tech University.
Just don't forget Larry.
Yeah, you can't forget Larry. Larry's larger than life. You can't forget him. He's fantastic. Well, Chip, anything else for today?
I think I'm good.
I think so, too. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining our Standing Waters podcast here at Nuway Restoration. Next week, we'll shoot another one. We'll bring somebody in. We'll have another topic. Maybe we'll talk to Chip again. Maybe we'll get him a little more comfortable from a 6 foot away at the end of the table.
Yeah. At least he's not in arm's length.
Well, thanks for listening. We're out of here. Have a great day.